Chair.
I call Sarah Dowie.
Mr Chair, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to rise and take this call in the education debate, or vote education for appropriations 2016-17, and what a worthwhile topic to be talking about. As a mother, investing more than $11 billion in education, to give our children a platform to build on, to gain skills, to grow, to gain confidence, to achieve the successes that they want, their hopes and dreams. And I think that is just such a worthwhile portfolio, and I'm very, very proud that this government has invested more than $11 billion in education. I want to address some of the rhetoric that Mr Hipkins was talking about with regards to ECE. I have two small children, and I must say that I am very, very pleased with the early childhood education that they have received. I now have one child in the primary school sector and one child that is still going through the early childhood education system. And I am very, very pleased that this government has continued with providing the 20 free hours for early childhood education, and that we have in New Zealand a 96% participation rate in early childhood education. In Southland, it is up at 98% because we have a Labour participation rate, Ms Curran, that is higher than the national average in Southland. So ECE provides a very, very good platform for our young children before they move on to their more full education journey. And ECE, look, I mean, you can choose as a parent whatever provider you want to go to, a registered provider, and still obtain those 20 free hours education. You can go to a play centre which celebrates more free play concepts. The children are still learning to explore, they're still learning confidence, they're still building relationships, they're building resilience, and they continue to grow. Or you can go for a more formal type system, which I have also encouraged my children in with regards to daycare. And that's more a structured format. They have mat time. It's more like school. And in both situations, they have achieved. It's been very pleasing with their results. And with my older child who's gone on to primary school, she has benefited from the ECE system in New Zealand. Education in New Zealand, well, we have one of the best education systems in the world. And the dream of, no matter where you are from as a New Zealander, if you can get into education and you've got the tenacity to learn and do well in your education, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to, and that dream is alive and well in New Zealand, and I'm very, very pleased with that. I want to talk about the expansion of our social investment model and targeting our at-risk people, and the Minister has already talked about this, that we know there is a cohort of people, if they're young students, if they're in benefit-dependent families, that they're more at risk at not achieving in their school and career. And so I want to talk about an example in Invercargill Middle School, who is a finalist in the Prime Minister's Excellence Awards. They have basically shoved deficit learning out the door. Katie Pennicoat and the principal there, Stan Tiatia, got together and they challenged the staff to throw deficit learning out the door. And what they have done is they have tailored learning programs to their students. They decided that if they spent that time tailoring programs for each individual, they knew that that individual would achieve no matter what. And they've turned that school around, and children have achieved, and they've been recognised for that, and I want to congratulate them in those efforts. I also want to talk about the school property investment. We often talk about the bigger centres, that the bigger centres are growing and that they need more schools and more classrooms and more investment in infrastructure. But Donovan Primary School in Invercargill, the roll increased by 64% in 11 months due to the fantastic leadership of their principal, Mr Peter Hopwood, and they have received an extra classroom which will be state-of-the-art, connected to it will be a warm classroom, connected to fibre and very interactive in the children's learning.
Adrian